What is happening? I know I'm going way off message here, but this is how I am feeling. I spent long years yearning to be where I am now. I fought humiliation and self-denial, faced contempt and rejection to gain acceptance as a woman, most of all from myself. I've suffered abuse and isolation, not so much as others, it's true. I've spent a fortune, most of my savings, wagered my dignity and very survival to become the very best Alice I could possibly be. One of the rites of passage was the toilet test. For many years, going to the loo anywhere but at home, a private house or occasional restaurant was a bit of a minefield. The sideways looks, the "excuse me, darlings." Yeah, some of you done that. Yeah. It's not clever and it's not funny. Then there was always the piss on the floor, the broken locks, kicked indoors, smears on the walls, the fear of standing in line to pee with hostile eyes glaring at me. Oh, this is no hard luck story. We all have obstacles to surmount and wriggle through, and now I'm happy. But after all that, there were other tests, trials to negotiate daily to confirm my female identity. This is not just some club you can join casually. Okay, rewind, deep breath, nitty-gritty. My first legitimate foray into the ladies' loos was a bit stressful. Unnecessarily, but with laudable gallantry, a young man who had my interests at heart stood outside the outside door while I went into the ladies' lavatory. There was a bit of a threesome, but for me it was a public statement, a start. There was nobody in there but me. I breathed a sigh of relief, not for that reason, but because I knew that this was where I belonged. This was my haven from masculinity and male ownership. This was my feminine space. This was a feminine space and would be mine too. Even if not everyone else would agree. Maybe even some of you. Since then, I've gradually and joyfully experienced the social and psychological significance of these safe spaces where men are excluded. Women's toilets are places of intimacy and private ablutions. Many women, me included, are a little shy about these situations. Loos are also places of socialisation, makeup sharing and application, occasional tentative flirtation and dating. If you were thinking, what could a woman want to discuss or do that couldn't be seen or heard by men? Well, just mind your own business. It's nothing to do with you. I could not care less about political correctness. And I know I'm out on a limb, but here goes. Who decides that my need for a safe space in this frightening city has less validity than someone else's discomfort? When I go into a loo, I don't want to feel I have something to prove. I don't want to go back to the days when another woman's gaze says, "Who are you? Why are you here?" I don't want to be alone in a room with blokes who stare with enmity. Yes, they do. They bloody well do. When men move into a space, they claim it and own it, especially when there are a few of them, more so when they're pissed. And I don't mean to criticise, but this just seems to be what men do. Yes, even you. Women can be hostile, but that's our business. I'll deal with it. Gaining acceptance is difficult enough for me as it is. Who knows You know where I'm coming from. My position is fragile. I could be wrong, but there may be many more women who feel much as I do. And if so, are they asking, who made these decisions and who stands to gain? And was it and is it by any chance men?